Hi, I'm Kelly,
And I'm Madeline.
and welcome to Salt Sessions. Hey, everyone, and welcome back to Salt Sessions. I'm Kelly,
And I'm Madeline.
and today we are going to demystify the agent model relationship. And we have a special guest today, Walter Birdsong.
Hello. How are y'all?
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, so Walter is
He's
one
a
of.
success story.
Yes, so.
Oh, Lord.
Walter, you are a success story. He came in our submissions. I saw his precious pictures and submissions. I was like, I've got to get him in. He came in for an interview, and 30 minutes later, he walked out with a contract. He was amazing. He has what's called X Factor.
Yes.
So, that's really important. We talked about personality being in there in another episode. You really have to bring your A game personality, which we call X Factor, because it makes a difference. Like Walter is obviously beautiful, handsome, great looking guy, but he's got this personality that just beats.
Yes. I mean, we were just at a restaurant prior to this, and we were sitting there meeting some people at the table, and Walter,
Walter
ended up
got
getting.
himself a date with a venture capitalist to go play golf.
Yeah, I'm like, got his phone number. They were chatting. I'm like, of course, Walter. He's got a job lined up, basically.
You got a job lined up. Exactly. But yes, the relationship between the model and the agency is a strong one because, like we said, we're the Salt family, and we really we pride ourselves on great communication with our models, whether it be emailing, texting, phone calling, but staying in touch because we are that family unit, and they can come to me at any time of day or night with their questions, literally.
Yeah, and Walter, I mean, you're good friends with Madeleine's son.
Yes.
We really are a
family.
family here.
Yeah, we are.
So talk about kind of the beginning for you in
Um,
modeling.
Okay. So I guess the beginning for me, I started with the agency in Florida when I was living in Florida, of course, but they weren't doing anything for me. No hate to the agency, but, and they weren't. And so then that's when I got a job back home and I decided to come back home. And, I was kind of trying to figure everything out at home. I was like, well, I love modeling, so let me try to get back into it. But, at this time, I still don't know anything about modeling. I was signed to an agency, but I didn't know anything about it.
So you hadn't had a job yet,
No,
with the other
well, I
agency.
did. I had like two, but I was signing in for like 3 years and only had two jobs, which
Okay.
makes no sense. I mean, and then at that point, it didn't make any sense.
And we're not throwing shade on any other agency because we don't do that, but it just didn't work out for him.
Nah,
last
I
time.
feel like your place is
Yeah.
where you're supposed to be is where you're supposed to be, and
Yep.
And so that's when I come home and how you tell the story about me signing to you. I actually submitted prior to that.
What?
I did. I submitted prior.
I didn't
Yeah.
thank you?
No, I submitted prior to that, and then I was like, well, maybe it's the pictures. So then that's when, like I said, I didn't know anybody here, so that's when I flew back to Tampa and I found a photographer down there, and then that's when I did kind of a lifestyle shoot, kind of like able to show
Is
my
that what you
personality.
submitted to me? Because whatever you
Yeah.
submitted to me, I just remember thinking, because we get so many submissions a
We
week
do.
that his pictures were just beautiful, and I wanted him in here immediately.
Yeah, and that's when I submitted more of a lifestyle, more showing my personality, getting the smile, be happy.
The
And
smile. Ding.
and then I submitted, and then within like it wasn't even a few hours, and you had already emailed me back. He was like, hello.
Hello, I want you to come in.
Yeah, he was like, when can you come in for a meeting? And the next thing you know, here I
We
am.
were sitting at a booth in our building and talking, and we really could have talked for about 3 hours, to be honest with you, because he has it. So we could talk for hours and hours and hours, and I knew that I wanted to represent him, and I did what I don't do, and I offered him a contract in 30 minutes.
Yeah, and we
So-
normally have the models test just so we
Yeah.
can see, because sometimes you have people that want a model that are interested, that are beautiful, right? That have a great look, have great measurements, height, what you think, but it sometimes just doesn't translate to film.
Right.
So yeah,
I knew
that's-
because I saw his pictures that he would
He could-
translate
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate y'all for believing in me. I mean, I
definitely
can't say
do.
though, even though you might have it, still can be discouraging, and I think people don't understand that.
Talk about that. Talk
Yeah.
about what it's like. You when we first signed you, you steadily booked all the time. Sometimes we have some lulls. Sometimes we
Yeah.
have some higher times,
Mhm.
and you have to just what you're talking about right now is just don't be discouraged. Don't
Yeah.
give up on your dream, and know that you're in good hands when you sign with a good and reputable agency.
Yeah.
But yeah, there can be times of discouragement because honestly, like what Kelly said earlier, it's 90% rejection in this
Yeah.
business. I thought it was 75%, but she corrected me. It's 90.
No, it's
So,
yeah.
it's a lot of rejection. You have to have a thick skin and just know that the people who are behind you are with you and they want the best for you. It's going to bring me to our mother agency topic again. Some agencies are mother agencies. Some agencies are only booking agencies. And a mother agency is one that's going to take you under their wing and develop you and be that architect for your career and like see the grand picture for you. And with Walter, I could see a grand picture from the beginning, and I knew I would be able to place him in other markets. And Walter first got signed in Chicago, yay. And then Walter was recently signed with Elite in Miami. And we're working on a very top secret placement right now with a top 5 agency in New York City. And then we're going to go on to LA. And then I think it may be London. I'm getting chills.
Yes.
Oh,
So, it's just an exciting time. But Walter has waited and been patient. And yes,
He's
he's
trusted the
booked. He's
process.
trusted
but
the
also, you
process.
guys got to remember though that I did put in a lot of time and I did put in a lot of work.
Talk about that. We
Talk
talked
about
about
I
that,
that.
think
Walter.
that's what
He
a
did
lot of people forget.
everything we asked him to. He was testing every other week. He was like, Madeline, what more do I need to do
Yeah.
for my book? What else can I do to help you? Because we're a team. When a model signs for an agency, they're a team. And so we work together to build that book, to make it better. And Walter is one of the few models, I must say, who asks me continually, Mama Mads, what else do I need to do? How else do I need to go with my book? Like, who else should I be shooting with? And then I'll sometimes say, well, you're done right now, sweetheart. It's up to me to market you and to get you that next job. But yeah, he's been really good about that. And like I said, I really need the models to test once a quarter. I do. I don't want the books dry. I don't want them stale. I want them like to look like you're working.
Yeah. Talk about
Yeah.
that. Talk about, how you got started and all the work that you've put in.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it's definitely it's every day's a learning curve in this industry because you never know what might be the new wave and the new.
The new it
Yeah,
factor.
and so basically, I guess that's why you got to bring your A game and bring your personality because if you bring that, then there's no matter what it is and where it is, you can make it happen if you really want it.
Right.
Right.
You know, like if you put in 5%, you probably only gonna get 2% back.
Yeah.
You can't expect to put in a lot or put in nothing and get a lot. It just doesn't work
What
like that.
percentage do you put in, Walter?
I probably put in 110%.
Yeah,
Like
I
I
think
try to
so.
go overboard,
I
and
mean, I gotta call you
sometimes
out for a second. I mean, you get facials. I mean, you take care of your
yeah.
skin. I mean, and I say that like in a positive,
Yeah.
like you do everything the right
He's
way.
in the gym. If I tell him
In
to
the
shred,
gym.
he shreds.
Yep.
It's like, for certain markets, unfortunately, size really does matter. And it's about your measurements. And Walter's 6'2", so there's certain measurements that for a guy at 6'2" to wear designer clothing because the dictators are the designers and
The clients.
the
Yep.
clients exactly. And that dictates what we say, Walter, your measurements need to be this. And he has shred for me and he
Yeah.
has done everything I've asked.
I ain't a fan of running, but it's something I can do now. But nah, it's peaceful. It's peaceful. But like I said, like you gotta put in what you want. There's times where, money wasn't great. But if this is something I really want, then I feel like the way the universe works, if you really want something, it's gonna go in that way as long as you put in the work. You might have to miss a meal or two, not saying I did that, but you might have to,
Make
and
some
that's okay.
sacrifices. Yeah.
But in the long run, the people that I've worked with, the places that I have been, the things that I've accomplished just in such a short period of time, and it felt like I've been working for a long time, honestly.
And don't
But
you think that other models come to you and ask you for your advice?
yeah, they do.
They do.
And I give them, but I think they also have to remember that everybody's experience is different, and that's why I always tell you
Your journey's gonna
put
be
in what
different
you
than
want to
his.
get out.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's many times where I come to you where I'm like, well, is this really for me?
Yeah.
Like, is this something that I
And
can
I'm
see
here to
myself doing?
encourage him and cheer him on that this is for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, now that we're working on that next placement in New York, that's super exciting.
I know.
but yeah, so at the end of the day, it's like again, you put in, you guys are a great agency. I wouldn't rather to sign to another agency for being like, my first mother agency, and I don't plan on leaving, and it's just fun. It's
better
just
not.
great.
We got you under contract.
We got
I
you.
know, yeah. Besides the contract,
I'm teasing.
besides the
I'm
contract,
teasing.
yeah.
I'm
But
teasing.
But we love
I'm
him.
teasing.
but like I said, it is great. You guys, you try to figure out what's best for everybody, and not just me, and not just everybody. Sadly, COVID happened, or I would try to make us all have a group meeting, and all the models come out. If this is what you really want, even when you have your model calls, I've never heard of another agency doing a whole model call, giving people the opportunity to just, if that's your dream, that's your goal, you giving people the chance to just, I want to follow that today.
Yeah.
Maybe it might not happen today, it might not happen tomorrow, but you just took that first step into going to which way you want to go. And this might not even be your dream, but you just took that step into going to figuring out what your dream can be and what you want it to be.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's been, like I said, it's been a great experience. Like I said, I learned a lot. Just one, patience is like the biggest thing that I've learned.
Patience is not my virtue, but I'm learning it.
No.
Yeah, and then also two, discipline. That's another
Yeah.
thing I learned. It's just like being focused and trying to stick to the task. Like it's easy to gain weight, but it's hard to like lose weight, or vice versa, depending on who
Try
you
being
are.
a girl. I mean,
Yeah, I'm just a girl.
oh, teasing.
Try being a
And
girl.
but yeah, it's definitely interesting. Like I said, it's interesting. And then like just the relationships I make out here, like these people, you make relationships with these people, and then next thing you know, they're calling you for something else, not
Yeah.
even knowing because they're working on another project, but just the relationship you created with them goes a
Yeah,
long way.
Walter's really good friends with a pretty famous photographer who will remain nameless right now, but he's very good friends with him, and you guys help each other, and I think it's
Yeah,
awesome.
we do.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
dog. But like I said, it's fun. I never thought I would meet my people until I started following my dreams and doing what I really wanted to do.
Mhm.
When everybody's out here looking for something, when you don't have to look, it's already in you. You just gotta go for it. So
Well
Right.
said, Walter.
And just another kind of testament to Walter and his character. We had a model call last year,
UK.
and Walter, it was at Piedmont Park.
It was at Piedmont Park.
And
It was
Walter
flames out
shows up.
there.
Walter shows
man,
up
my dog
with
was
his
about to
dog.
die.
Yeah, I mean,
He
Walter
was.
just shows up to
Your
say
dog
hi.
was about to die. 'cause it
Nah, he
so
was
hot.
enjoying himself.
He
That
was.
rain
He's so
kind of
cute.
threw us off,
It
but
did.
it was fun. And a lot of models reached out to me from there on
I love
Instagram. They
that.
found me on Instagram. They talked to me. I told them like, what I say. But the thing is, I think what the biggest thing that helped me when I come to you guys, I came prepared. I came
You did.
look.
You
I
were ready to go.
researched. Like if you want something, you gotta come with it. You can't just come expecting because the amount of time people have, and like this is not like a small agency. People are working, so if you want something, you gotta come. You're not gonna go to work unprepared.
Right.
If you write something, you're not gonna go to work without a pen.
Exactly.
Thank
That's what
you.
Kelly
Not,
talked about in the
so-
last
Thank you.
episode. She said, come prepared and do your posing classes and take your runway
Train.
class
Yes.
and train like an
Practice.
athlete does for your craft, for your job.
Yeah.
And you certainly have done that. And you're right. You don't come without a paper and pen to school. So you have to go to this too.
Yeah, so that's just the biggest thing I can say, honestly, is just be prepared and make sure you always and be on time. Another thing is
Thank you.
integrity.
15 minutes early, please.
That's the big thing too. I've learned is
How many times have you been on set when models have like shown up late, like maybe borderline like hungover or not
quite a few
prepared?
times.
Yeah, and the client's not happy.
Yeah, it show,
Clients
and then
know
it
so-
shows in the picture. I mean,
It
I've
does.
been on set where they've dropped models because
Yep.
they weren't there, or they pushed them, or they didn't accept them another day because they were supposed to be there 2 days, and just because their first day went, they were like, "No, we're not having you."
Yeah.
We've
You
had that
see a
happen with
lot.
several clients,
Yeah.
unfortunately, where they've booked a model for 2 days and then the model was either unprepared or not professional, and they were like, "We won't have him back, by, tomorrow, or we won't have her back tomorrow."
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like,
Well,
"Okay."
let's go back. Not our models. We've had models. We've been aware of models on sets.
Right.
I will say I don't think.
Yes,
our
it's
models-
never been our models.
Yes,
No,
I
you're right.
mean, but
You're right.
like other
Right,
models,
other
yeah,
models.
have been, and where they have to replace them, and where
But
they,
the
reaching
town
out.
is small and we hear about it.
Yeah, and they, sometimes reach out to us at 10 o'clock at night.
And they're
having
like,
to
"Hey, we
replace
had
the
a model
model."
cave on us
Yeah.
today. We need one from you tomorrow."
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I think one of the times it was a model showed up with his girlfriend.
Yes.
And his girlfriend came to set, and
Yes.
which is totally. I mean, as you know, Walter. No, you don't bring
Yeah.
anyone to set. Do not ever bring anyone to set
Unless you're a minor, and then you bring your parent.
Unless you're a minor, yes, bring your mom. But otherwise,
Yeah,
Or your
nah, I definitely
dad,
see
your mom, or your
you.
dad.
yes,
Yes.
Yeah, you definitely see a lot of stuff on there. That's why the biggest thing is just honestly, I can tell you, just mind your business on there. Honestly, just go do your job. You can
Mind
talk,
your
and also
business.
one thing I can't say just mind your business, but don't be afraid to speak to people. Don't be afraid to talk to people because that's one thing that'll carry you further than ever. They might not book you, but they will always remember you because you work with them. And like I did a shoot with when my old agency in Florida, and I did a shoot with them, and when I worked with you guys, Fanatics, the
It was
same people.
Fanatics. They booked him
So
up
my
here.
first job was
Yeah.
Fanatics in
Yeah.
Florida, and then when I came up here and I'm in Atlanta with a whole nother agency, Fanatics booked me again,
Yeah.
and it was the same camera crew, and here we are talking, chatting up, and we've even hung out, we rode motorcycles together or whatever. So we,
You're not supposed to be on a motorcycle, Walter.
oh Lord, that's what
Mess
my,
up
we
that
can't
big
mess
do
up.
that.
I know. Your
models do that.
face
though.
card.
Models do that on TV. They do.
Oh, on TV.
Yeah,
they do.
actors do that on TV too. They be like
I
riding
think those
on
are
the.
called stunt people. I think they're stunt
I think they
men.
call some people too.
I'm a
stunt.
stunt man.
Stunt man. And you're
Stunt man. I be going from point A to point B. Now I'll be out there hanging out.
that's
I be going from point A to point B. But as I was saying, nah, it's cool though. Like I said, the relationships I built with these people, they always remember me, and they'll be willing to, like, if they need somebody quick, they'll reach out to me, or they'll reach out to my agency to
So
No.
gotcha.
And another thing I tell you, just be very available. I mean, not available, but be open minded, and also be open minded to not getting paid anything too. Because sometimes it's just the being in that atmosphere is what's gonna get you where you need to be. It ain't always about the money. It ain't always about how much am I gonna get paid. Well, I'm not doing this for this many hours. Well, you never know. That shoot right there, they could have just wanted to see how you look, and then a week later they actually have a really big shoot, but
Right.
you declined
You
it
didn't
because
show up.
of
Yeah.
what was happening. So
That was a
Right.
really good point.
Yeah, and I mean, oftentimes too, it's like sometimes our biggest challenge is getting models to show up for castings, for go-sees. It's like they don't want to put in the work, but
yeah,
it's, if you're not, somebody else will. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
everyone, I mean, I hate to say it, but you're
And your agent
replaceable.
shouldn't have to call you 15 times to turn in your tape.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never
yeah.
Walter.
No.
Oh, y'all remember my first agency that y'all signed me to was Alon Stars. It wasn't even.
Oh, okay, that's right.
That's
Yeah,
yeah.
y'all signed me to Alon Stars first,
The line starts
That's
first,
right.
and then
Yeah.
and
10
then 10,
second,
and then a
Roundabout line star. Hi Barb. Hi Jess. We love you.
Yeah, we love you,
Yo,
line stars.
shout out.
Shout out.
But yeah, and like also that helps too because like even if because I know a lot of models like to go into acting too.
Yeah.
But these tapes we be submitting are the same tapes you would submit for acting.
So, okay, let me touch on that for a second. That is a great point. I'm so glad you brought that up. Models kind of get a bad rap for not being comfortable on camera, for not, you know, like being natural and authentic. And to your point, it's really important to maybe do some acting classes, to do some, workshops to where you can learn like
Whether or not you want to be an actor or an
Well,
actress,
not even-
just do it because we have a commercial division that does commercials. So you're going to need a little acting experience so that you know maybe how to read a line or two.
Yeah, so for us as, at Salt, we're a print commercial agency. So we're, booking print jobs, we're also booking commercial jobs. So you have to know how to slate. You have to know, to have your cell phone.
Turned off.
No,
What?
Horizontal.
Oh,
Let me finish.
Horizontal cell
Oh, horizontal.
phone.
I said that. No.
horizontal,
Yeah.
have good lighting, have a plain backdrop. You've got to know your sight lines. You have your readers over here. So you're not looking right there, you're looking like right off. So, there's some acting basics that you need to know as a model to be able to submit a good tape. So can you
Yeah.
talk about that for a sec?
Yeah, so honestly, I'm not even gonna hold y'all. Like, I'd be submitting tapes at like 2 and 3 in the morning when I get off work, cause that's how simple they are. Like, I just got off work.
Wait, don't
and it's-
say that.
Well, they need to know if we're gonna tell the
like,
truth.
you know
They
what?
need to know the truth.
No. But you probably got it that day, and you're probably actually one of the first ones to submit.
You're usually
not the
always the
last.
first one to get
yes,
in.
not the last ones.
Yeah.
I
You
won't
are.
say that.
You are.
I mean, yeah, we're gonna say that, but nah. But like honestly, and all I'm saying is like it doesn't take a lot. Like a slate is just, hi, I'm Walter Birdsong. I'm
Yeah.
6'2". I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's very simple. So you submit, like I said, I've submitted them late, and like I've booked one of my biggest jobs, but I made sure to submit it.
Yeah.
I made sure to do it, and I booked one of my biggest jobs. Bath and Body Works. I had to submit a
Yeah.
slate for that, and there were other people that went overboard with their slates, possibly like,
Yeah.
you don't need props. You don't
No.
need none of that. It's just you. They just want to see how you look on camera, and that's that. It don't take a lot. It don't.
Yeah, and when a casting director gives instructions, like taping instructions, so when you have an audition, you get we get a breakdown. So the breakdown is going to have like the roles that they're casting. It's going to have a breakdown of how they want it to be taped. So as well as
They're going to
they're-
have the
they're-
usage and the rate and everything. on
and
there.
they may have sides, so you may have like a couple of lines.
Mhm.
So it's important though to have like a good reader, because if you have lines, you're going to need to have somebody to read with, and just do it. I mean, we have people oftentimes that just decline it because they're like, oh, I don't have a reader. Well, get a friend. Do you have a friend? Yes. Do you have a boyfriend? Yes. Okay. There you go.
There also are programs out there that
are.
that help you,
Like an app.
that'll read it for you.
Yeah.
So you don't even need a reader. There are programs out there that are for that,
Right.
So there's many ways that you can do it. You can even record yourself on one take, reading that one part, and then read it back with yourself. There's so many ways you can do it if you really want to do it. But again, that follows to how bad you want it and if you
Thank
want
you.
to do it. You can. I've had my mom read for me a couple times. I've had people, my friends that live all the way out of state, come read for me. Like, hey, I need you to read this for me real quick. You can hop on FaceTime real quick, and it takes literally 2 seconds. Because a lot of times these lines are like 1-liner, 2-liner,
Yeah.
maybe 3,
Yeah.
depending. I mean, we're not no 2-3 page script, of course.
Right.
I mean, if you're acting, but this is not. Like I said, they just want to see. And a lot of times when you go on set, you won't even be talking.
Mhm.
They just have it there just in case,
Yeah.
you know.
Or
But
it'll be like
So they wanted to see
emotion.
his personality in your audition.
Yeah, so
yeah,
it'll
you
be
know, they
like
won't even you won't even talk.
yeah.
So, but one thing I can say though, one thing I had to teach myself is honestly with all this, when submitting, forget about it.
Yeah.
Submit and forget
So
about it.
that's I love that saying. Submit and forget. Yeah. So
Because like a lot of times Madeline will call me and she'll be like, you've been booked for something. And I'll be like, what is it?
which one?
Yeah, what is it? You know, because I don't be remembering because I try not to. Because if you sit there and consistently think about, you know, are they going to accept me or do they want me? Am I going to get booked?
Yeah, my mom's favorite word was perseverate. She'd say, Miss Madeline, please don't perseverate over this anymore. And I'm like, what's perseverate? And she's like, yeah, that's my favorite word for you, Madeline, because you're a word.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So don't worry
Separate.
about it. Once you've done your audition, you put it up on the shelf. You know you're in good hands. You know you did a good job. And remember that it is a lot of rejection.
Yeah.
So
You're being seen.
you're
You've
being
done,
seen.
you've
You've
done
your
your
job.
work.
And just like we said in the other episode, it's like so cool that you even asked for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
it's
like
not
you're
even
up
rejection. I
against
mean, it wouldn't
people
even be
from
rejection. You
Yeah.
know, that's just like you finding $20 on the street. Oh, I found $20. Great. But
Yeah.
before that, you didn't even have it. You didn't
Yeah.
even know about it.
Right.
So it's definitely, it's not. I wouldn't even look at it like rejection because at the end of the day, you know, there are many other things that they could have found somebody walking down the street. But
Right.
it's the fact that you, like you said, you were even in the pool
Yeah.
of being selected, which is already saying
Which
a
is
lot.
awesome.
Yeah.
You
And a
know,
lot of people don't realize that. They think that everyone gets the audition.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Or
I mean,
everybody's working all the
we
time and I'm
Yeah.
not.
we
And they're getting
submit.
all the auditions and the castings and the things like that. And ultimately we can't book you like unless the client picks you.
Yeah.
But you know, there is a lot of rejection, that's for sure. But like keeping on and keeping on.
Yeah,
It's
but
not
we may
rejection.
submit, say, we may submit 30 people for
Yeah.
one role, and they may ask 5 to tape. So, I
Right.
mean, you've won. You're being asked to tape,
You're
you
It's just
know?
like going to apply for a job. Honestly, that's all it
Yeah,
is. You're
true.
applying for a
applying
job.
for a job. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think that's what a lot of models forget that this is your job. This is your business. I mean, y'all represent us, but this is our business. So, like, again, we put in what we get out, you know. Yeah, test shoots can be expensive.
Yeah.
Right. But without them, I can't market you.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, like, you know, consider making sure your size stay the same. Making sure, like, and the biggest thing that I think you taught me is finding out what's me and what's my market and what I like doing, you know. And that's what we found out. But prior to that, you know, it was a lot of
We
trial
were
and
kind of
error.
all over the
Yeah.
place with
What do you
Walter,
think,
but
what is your, niche, would you say?
I'm commercial.
That's
I'm
right,
commercial
you
based.
are.
I'm,
Yes.
I'm
Look at that smile. Show that smile right there. Ding!
I'm like commercial based, so that's
You are.
that would be me. You
And
know, I
that's where
like
the money
happy
is.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right. Commercial print and lifestyle. Exactly.
There's a lot of money
Now
in
I'm
that.
not opposed to walking down the runway. I mean, I prefer not to, but nah, I'm just kidding. Nah, you know,
You gotta
whatever
get
it is,
walking.
you
And
know,
we
I
don't know
never.
what New York might bring. 'Cause
Yeah.
this is going to
Yeah.
bring a whole new market to you that does do the shows and does have the fashion clients. And
Yeah.
we don't know where that's going to
Yeah,
take
you know,
And so let me interject one thing, and that is, talking about New York, we've touched on it, how it's a different market.
Yeah.
And, so when we're talking to agencies in New York, about you, for example, we're not showing them your happy, smiley commercial stuff. I mean, you've had to test here and you've had to do, I know you shot, with Blake Ballard.
Blake
and-
Ballard and Krishan
Yeah, and
Rose.
Krishan. And so where you have
Right.
some really strong,
But
work.
more fashion.
More
editorial
fashion,
type picks.
editorial stuff. Yes.
Right. So when we go to submit your book to New York, for instance, we're going to probably change it up
Yes.
and make it a little bit more edgy and editorial
Yes.
versus what we book in Atlanta, which is going to be more commercial and lifestyle with that big smile.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I agree.
oftentimes our models will have a different book. So they may have their book for Atlanta, which is like the commercial lifestyle happy stuff, and then they have it.
And they have more
separate book.
editorial book.
Variety,
Yes.
variety is always great. You know,
Yeah.
it's expensive, but like I say, you put in what you get out, and I think that's what a lot of people don't want to do. They don't like.
They don't
to
want to
do.
put in the time or the money, and
Yeah.
they have to.
And that's what you
Yeah.
got to do. You
And
gotta put
also,
in.
I remember, I mean, like a lot of models, I think you actually maybe, you were like, I want to model full time. Amazing, great goal. But, you have to put the work in. It takes some time. You can't just from day one.
No.
You're not, you're not in
And you have to
Vogue.
be placed in multiple markets to really make it
To
full-time
make it
job.
full time, yes, you need the multiple markets, for the opportunities.
Yeah.
So,
It's been fun. I say it's been fun. It's been like I said, it's a lot of learning, and I still learn to this day. Like I can't even say I still don't learn. I still learn. It's always something new.
Well, I'm 55 and I'm learning every day.
yes, amen.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's fun. It's
Yeah.
like one of my dreams. So like really chasing my dreams, it don't even feel like work. And like the money I do spend, I don't even think about it. You know, even though it's like, dang, I kind of got to eat some noodles. Nah, I'm just kidding.
No, not
No,
you.
Not no noodles. It's not healthy, y'all.
were
You
just
gotta, if you're a model, like everybody always
No
tell me,
ramen for you.
when people find out I'm a model, what do you gotta do? Watch your figure? No.
No.
I eat anything I want. I just run an extra 2 miles.
Yeah. Well, you're a guy, so I feel like,
Well,
it's a little.
for me, it's a lot easier to lose weight than to gain weight.
What?
Yeah, I don't like. I
Wish I
told you
had that
when
problem.
she said, Walter,
Yeah,
you're
sure.
too big.
Yes.
I lost weight in less than a month. I lost all
You
my
did.
weight in less than a month. Like,
did.
I
and
remember.
I was 180 pounds, and now I'm like, I be pushing 150 to
Okay.
like 160, depending on how much I eat today. So
Yeah.
them French toast sticks earlier probably give
Yeah,
me
we
an
just had
extra 2
lay bib.
pounds.
We had a little labib
Lay
French
bib.
toast.
I know
yeah.
you're not eating ramen because you just had lay bib. So.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually did have some. I had some pho. I've been eating pho crazy this week though. I like that. I don't know
Well-
why. And steak.
You better watch it for New York.
You better get it running.
I know.
Well, I know that we had multiple people over the past 24 hours ask questions of us, and we were kind of going to go into a couple of
Yeah,
questions that
so-
came in for us, and Walter can chirp in too. What was one of the questions?
Yeah, so
that
this
came
is
in?
our Ask Salt, Ask the Agent segment,
Right.
wrapping up the show.
I believe one of them was about Instagram.
So we had two questions that were quite similar.
Yeah.
One was about, as a model, do I need to have a separate Instagram for my modeling account? And the second question was, do I need to have a large social media following to be signed as a model?
Right.
And so to answer the first one, I personally think it's better to not have an extra social media account for your
Just
modeling.
have one.
To have one, make it authentic to you, as long as it's clean. It doesn't have like
Right.
party pics or pics that don't paint you in
In
a
good
nice
light.
light.
Right.
But
But and
clients-
also show variety. Show, hey, here's my family. I hang out with them too. Here are my friends. I hang out with them too.
Yeah.
And then here's a great shot that I just took with a photographer. You know,
Yes.
so it's a blend of lots of different things to show the clients that you are like relatable.
Yes.
That you're not just like this standoffish model
Yeah.
person that has no life other
Yeah,
than that.
I mean,
Yeah.
they want to see, they want authenticity. So,
do.
and they want like a good aesthetic. I will say, one of our models, Chanel,
Yeah.
has the most gorgeous Instagram. I mean, just the flow and just she
It's
the
always
way
on
she
point and
blends.
posed and
Yes,
pretty.
is amazing.
Oh, I gotta
And
work on my Instagram
I,
now.
you do.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my
and
goodness.
we
But
don't really care about your following when we're signing you as an agency.
No.
But I will tell you, clients do.
Yes.
So they want to see a large social media following. So if you're just starting out, then let's get on the gram and let's start hashtagging, posting some pictures.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, we've had clients, especially, the major kind of fashion houses, they want you to have a following because that will translate to sales for them. So, you have like your Hailey Biebers, your Gigi and Bella Hadid, who
Your Kaya Gerbers.
kind of started out more on the influencer
side.
genre and have transitioned.
And then morphed into modeling.
But it's
Yeah.
because of their social media following. They had huge social media followings, and
Right.
so brands think, okay, that will translate to sales, and oftentimes it does. What do you have to say about that?
Well, she's got to work on the gram.
Whoa. Well, when I started, I didn't have Instagram.
You did not?
So, I mean,
I did tell him to get one.
How many followers do you have now?
900.
Okay,
Something like that, yeah.
almost 1,000. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
working
We
on
got
it.
to get to work.
But, like, I definitely post a lot of my life on there, too.
You do.
I post a variety of stuff. I mean, it's definitely...
Yeah, can I interject? Last night I was scrolling the gram late night, and Walter's, at some event
Oh, yeah, they be watching, y'all.
having a glass. Oh, yes, we
Yeah,
do watch
They
you.
be
do
watching.
watch your
They
We
gram.
be-
watch you. He's
I
having
remember I was in Miami. Madeline texted me, Walter, what are you doing in Miami? Yeah, so they be watching. But I mean, I say, yeah, and also I can attest to like that on set because I've been on the set when I did Love Sack, and there was a girl on there and she had a big following. I guess she was more of an influencer, I guess you say. So they were more open to asking her questions about this and that instead of just like me. I booked through my agency,
Yeah.
so they don't really have much to ask me when
Right.
But which that helps. It does help, and I guess I don't really know how. Not really. Like I said, it helps, and it can take you further, and also more people will know, and more people will be inspired by you too. So, but Instagram is hard.
Yeah,
So
it
go
is.
follow
It takes-
Walter too, and
Yes.
follow Salt.
Yeah, my Instagram is DEBIRDD2.
There we go.
That's the number
And
2, by the
ours
way.
is at Salt Model.
There
so
we
please
go.
follow us too.
There you
we
go.
go, there
But yeah, and it's fun. If this is your dream or whatever your dream is, this may not be your dream, but follow it. chase it. You have nothing but time. The way the world works, the only way you can be homeless and not make it is if you choose to. And if you ask most homeless people why are you homeless, they're going to say because I choose to. So if that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. If that's your dream, do it. I ain't gonna lie, I thought about holding a cup just to see how much money. My sign wouldn't say I'm homeless though. Mine is gonna say I just want to see how much money I can make.
Oh, well.
But you know,
Oh my
so if
god.
y'all see me out there,
Well, put
look-
some money
yeah,
there.
don't be afraid to donate.
I think it's just like Venmo now. It's just like people have.
I
like,
can put
their
my Venmo card on there,
like
Cash App.
Yep.
I even get PayPal for y'all if y'all this y'all. But yeah, but don't be afraid to chase it and follow it. Whatever that is, however that is, do
Right.
it.
Follow
You
your
have nothing
dreams.
but
I think
time.
that's great advice, Walter. Well,
So
Kelly, I think that we have
Yes.
finished another episode of Salt Sessions, and we just thank you so much for tuning in and listening to us and listening to Walter, our special guest.
thank you for having me. It was a
Of
pleasure
course,
to come
of
out.
course.
and-
Hopefully, you learned a little bit more about the agent model relationship and how it works. And Walter's one of our
Very
success stories.
inspiring. Very inspiring. If y'all want my autograph. Just kidding.
Just DM him.
Yeah,
DM him.
Just DM him,
Maybe
get
he'll
your autograph,
sign
Walter.
And you know, I got a professional dashboard so I can regulate which one. So to you people out there, I think you should get a professional dashboard. It's free. And you can separate your DMs from your personal to your business and to the ones you really don't even want to open. But I respond to everybody. You know, I love everybody. People are great. Life is great.
Walter doesn't discriminate with the love.
Nope.
No.
Not at all.
No.
So yeah.
Well, thank you. Well, that's a wrap for this
Salt
episode.
Sessions, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Bye.
Bye.